How to fix 007 first light black screen and crash on startup. Welcome back to Tenabalta. Today, we're diving deep into a persistent and frustrating issue plaguing gamers: the infamous black screen and crash on startup for 007 first light. This problem, often manifesting with game audio playing in the background before an unceremonious desktop return, indicates a fundamental conflict within your system's software or hardware configuration. Understanding the myriad potential causes, from corrupted graphics drivers and DirectX API conflicts to system file integrity breaches and background application interference, is crucial for effective troubleshooting. This comprehensive guide will equip you with 18 meticulously detailed, professional solutions to diagnose and resolve these critical startup failures, ensuring you can finally immerse yourself in the world of 007. Verify game file integrity via Steam. Corrupted or missing game files are a frequent culprit behind startup failures and black screens. Utilizing Steam's built-in file verification tool ensures that all game assets are intact and correctly installed. Navigate to your Steam library, right-click on 007 First Light, select Properties, then go to the Local Files tab and click Verify Integrity of Game Files. Perform a clean graphics driver installation. A clean slate for graphics drivers is paramount. Residual files from previous installations can corrupt new ones, leading to instability. Utilize Display Driver Uninstaller, in safe mode to thoroughly remove all traces of AMD graphics drivers before performing a fresh installation of the latest stable version. This mitigates potential conflicts and driver-related crashes. Force DirectX 11 launch option. Many black screen issues stem from DirectX API conflicts, particularly when a game struggles with DirectX 12 implementations. Forcing the game to launch with DirectX 11 can often bypass these compatibility problems. Right-click 007 First Light in Steam, select Properties, and in the Launch Options field, type DX11 to explicitly direct the game's rendering API. Remove conflicting launch options. Custom launch options, while sometimes helpful, can also introduce instability or conflicts, especially if multiple commands are used or if a specific API is forced incorrectly. If you have any other launch parameters set, try removing them all to allow the game to launch with its default configurations. This isolates whether a specific command is causing the startup crash. Update Windows operating system. Outdated Windows versions can lack critical system files, security patches, or API updates necessary for modern games to function correctly. Ensure your operating system is fully updated by navigating to Settings, then Windows Update, and checking for and installing all available updates. A current OS provides the most stable foundation for gaming. Install/repair Visual C++ Redistributables. Games extensively rely on Visual C++ redistributables for various runtime components. Corruption or absence of these packages can prevent applications from launching. Download and install the latest x64 and x86 versions from Microsoft's official website, or use the repair option if they are already present, to ensure these fundamental libraries are correctly configured. Update chipset drivers. The motherboard chipset drivers are crucial for managing communication between your CPU, GPU, RAM, and other components. Outdated chipset drivers can lead to system instability and performance bottlenecks that manifest as game crashes. Visit your motherboard manufacturer's official website, e.g., ASUS for Prime B450MK Roman 2, and download the latest chipset drivers for your specific model. Disable full screen optimizations. Full screen optimizations, a Windows feature designed to enhance game performance, can sometimes interfere with older titles or specific hardware configurations, leading to black screens. Run game as administrator. Insufficient administrative privileges can restrict a game's access to necessary system resources, often resulting in startup failures. Right-clicking the game's executable and selecting Run as Administrator elevates its permissions. For a permanent solution, you can configure this in the Compatibility tab of the executable's properties. Monitor system temperatures. While a crashing game without error codes rarely points directly to overheating, extreme component temperatures can cause system instability and unexpected shutdowns. Use monitoring tools like AMD Adrenalin or MSI Afterburner to observe your GPU and CPU temperatures during game launch attempts. Ensure they remain within safe operating limits, typically below 85-90°C for GPUs and CPUs. Disable in-game overlays. Overlays from platforms like Steam, Discord, Xbox Game Bar, or even AMD Adrenalin can sometimes conflict with game rendering processes, leading to black screens or crashes. Temporarily disable all such overlays one by one to identify if any specific overlay is the source of the conflict. This is a common solution for many game startup issues. Reset AMD Adrenalin Shader Cache. The shader cache stores compiled shader data to improve game loading times and performance, but a corrupted cache can cause visual artifacts or even crashes. Within AMD Adrenalin Edition, navigate to the Gaming tab, then Global Graphics, and find the option to reset or clear the shader cache. This forces the game to rebuild shaders from scratch. Temporarily disable Antivirus/Firewall. Security software, while essential, can sometimes misidentify game executables or critical files as threats, preventing them from launching correctly. Temporarily disable your antivirus software and Windows Firewall, then attempt to launch the game. If it starts, add the game's executable and installation directory to your security software's exclusion list. Check for background application conflicts. Numerous background applications, especially those that hook into graphics APIs or manage system resources, can conflict with games. Before launching 007 First Light, open Task Manager and close any non-essential programs. Performing a clean boot, disabling all non-Microsoft services, can help isolate if a specific background application is the cause. Update BIOS/UEFI firmware. Outdated BIOS/UEFI firmware can limit system compatibility, introduce bugs, or fail to properly support newer hardware or software features. Visit your motherboard manufacturer's website for the latest BIOS version for your Asus Prime B450MK Roman 2. Exercise extreme caution during this process, as a power interruption can brick your motherboard. Adjust virtual memory, paging file. Insufficient or improperly configured virtual memory, paging file, can lead to game crashes, particularly with memory-intensive titles. Access System Properties, then Advanced System Settings. Navigate to the Advanced tab and under Performance, click Settings. In the Advanced tab again, click Change under Virtual Memory and ensure it's set to System Managed Size or a custom size suitable for your system, e.g. 5x your RAM. Run System File Checker, SFC and DISM. Corrupted Windows system files can ripple through your entire operating environment, affecting game stability. Open Command Prompt as an administrator and run sfc/scanno to repair corrupted system files. If issues persist, follow up with DISM commands. DISM/online/cleanupimage/check health, DISM/online/cleanupimage/scan health, and DISM/online/cleanupimage/restore health to repair your Windows. Test RAM stability. Faulty or unstable RAM can cause a myriad of system issues, including game crashes, often without specific error codes. Tools like memtest86 can perform thorough memory diagnostics. Create a bootable USB drive, run memtest86, and let it complete several passes to identify any potential memory errors. Replacing faulty RAM modules might be necessary if errors are detected. We understand that encountering a black screen and crash on startup can be incredibly frustrating, especially with a highly anticipated title like 007 First Light. By systematically working through these deep-dive technical solutions, you significantly increase your chances of identifying and resolving the root cause of the problem. Remember, patience and methodical troubleshooting are your best allies in restoring your gaming experience. Don't forget to follow Tenabalta for more in-depth technical guides and solutions.